Hey everyone, welcome back. Here we're coming to part 3, episode 3, the design phase finally of the black strings, the very top layer. Alright, we're diving right in. We're going to separate 6 strings on each side, 6 for the top, 6 for the bottom, and we were gonna just make sure that we're gonna need 5 and 5 on each side, but we're gonna do that a little later on, so you can just flip them up out of your way. On the top, all right, we're doing this sort of snake design, as you can see from the other side. You're gonna take the first string and tie it into the second string. Gather those 2 strings together, 2 of them together. Use the 3rd string to tie a knot around both of those strings. Leave the 3rd string hanging. 4th string, tie a knot again around the 2 that you're holding, and we're going to use this 3rd string and put them together to form 3 strings together. Take the 5th string, tie a knot around those 3 strings. Leave that one hanging. 6th string ties around the 3. And we're going to tie 15 knots. And this is how we're going to form our first loop, part of the snake, I call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and your 15th knot will be facing out. Now we're going to take a pin and pin it in a loop, in a C hook, I don't know. And we're going to attach it to those 2 strings. But there is one little trick that I will show you in just a second. So pin it there so it's secure. With the first string, and we're still wrapping around 3 strings that you've gathered, tie 1, 2 knot nice and tight. Then you're gonna go form 2 more knots, but back and forth. So 1 left, 1 right, and this fills the gap between the 2 strings. And then so now, as you can see, we've made a nice looking loop. Just pin it there, and we're going to do the same 15 count to make it going the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And we're going to take the pin, make it into a loop. So now you can see you got what looks like a little snake. And we're going to do the same thing. Take the first hanging string and secure it, tie it with the 1-2 knot. See there? 1, 2. Now a back and forth knot. Right, left, use that string. Okay, now what we're gonna do, because I only want 2 strings to go down, so the 3 strings that are now left, I'm gonna take the shortest one to wrap to form what's gonna combine into the top of the pendant. So I'm just taking the shortest string and we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm going to see if it's long enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this string into the second red loop that we made. You can see it's coming from the second set of leaves there. I'm just going to take the 2 ends and feed it through. The whole thing that we just knotted will come through. Hopefully it's clear enough that you can see. That first string, that's the short string, don't knot it there. We want to start knotting it to just the black cord. I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. 1 more, 2 more. So it reaches without having to pull it too tightly. So you can kind of see it still. And that's good. And now I'm just going to tie it only to the strings there, the red strings that we made the that we used the bead on. We're not gonna do that yet. We'll do that later. First we'll finish this black top part and then we'll get into finishing off the top and bottom. Okay, we'll just knot this row. You are still having, you're knotting around still 2 strings. So there will be 2 black cords left at the end, and that's okay. I want it like that. It's the same as I've done on the other side, if you can see it at all. Okay, so we just made one snake-looking aspect of the design. All right. They pretty much look the same on both sides. I always try for symmetry. Sometimes it's not exact when you're working with string, but it's pretty dang close. Okay. Now we're gonna flip it around and do the exact same thing to the bottom. You got 6 strings. You take the first string, knot it with the second string. 1, 2, hold those 2 strings together, tie the third string, and leave the third string hanging. Take the 4th string, tie a knot around the 2 strings you're holding. Now grab those 3 together, take the 5th string, knot around the 3 strings that you're now holding, leave that hanging, and take the 6th string, make a 1-2 knot, and then begin to count 15 knots to make the first loop. Okay? I'm just trying to show you because I'm not sure if the black shows up really well while I was filming. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, oh wait, was that 12, 13, did I count 15 already? I must have, because I'm pretty good about making sure while I'm actually working that I'm counting it right. Anyways, it should be 15 so that they'll all be the same size. All right, with that first string, you're gonna tie what you've just created to that, and then do another 2 knots, 1 in, 1 out. The second black hanging string, tie, and we'll make the other snake that will be going down towards the bottom. And again, it's a 15 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Bend it into a curve. Sorry, I keep flipping the board around. Pin it. To the first string. Whoops. 1. Sorry. My pin came loose. Okay, try this again. 1, 2, then 1 out, 1, or in, then out, rather. And then we take that second chord, 1, 2 knot. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make a small, we're gonna make some knots so that I have a piece that goes down that I can connect into. It'll go under that red loop 1. I'm using the 3 strings, I'm taking 1 and knotting around the 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, that's either 18 or 19. I might have missed a count. But really, like, when you're doing this, you can just sort of like gauge it on your own, like how big, how small, how tightly, how much you want it seen, how much you don't. These are all just design choices. There's no perfection to it. A lot of times when I do designs, I'll try something, not be happy with it, undo it, and redo it. Okay, so I'm sliding it underneath the second red loop that we made, the bigger loop, so that I can connect it to, it goes under the leaf as well, so I can connect it to the bottom. And again, just to the black strings, don't worry about the red strings that have the bead. That'll come in a different video. Leave that red one out. Don't knot around. Don't use it. That'll get cut eventually. All right. So I guess I want it longer. 1, 2 more knots. Just to give it a little more give, I suppose you could say. Pin it. Now remember, we have 2 strings that we're tying around. Once we finish the snake, there were 3 bunched together. I took 1 to form the, I don't know what to call it. I am lost for words at the moment. Anyways, the part that comes down that we're connecting right now. And you're making another row. I hope that was good enough to explain how I make those snake patterns on the top and bottom. I'm sure I'll do it in another design at some point. I enjoy making them, but for the purposes of a tutorial, I don't know. I'm hoping that my explanations and my filming is adequate enough. Alright, so just sort of showing you what it hopefully looks like if you have been working up to this stage and following along with me. Okay, and I'm gonna flip my board around now. And here we have 10 strings, 5 on each side, but I'm going to take 4 on each side and make a 4-string leaf. This one going towards the right, or up, if you will, towards the top. I got my working chord, 1, 2nd string, 3rd string, and the working chord makes the 4th string, and it's just a leaf. Hopefully you're very good at making leaves by now. Take the 2nd string, leave the 1st one off. Four string leaf are super simple. Take the first 2, cross them over, make a knot. grab your T-pin, stick it at the top. It's very useful when making leaves so you keep your shape. It's a little hard to see. I didn't realize filming at an overhead angle. All right, so the first knot, second knot, take those same 2 strings you're holding, cross them over, make another 1-2 knot. Now you're going to take the 3rd string, tie. Now go back to the top. This is a little bit hard to see, I can tell. Anyways, we just grab the very top string, 2, 3, and the 4th string, and that will make the 4-string leaf. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 5-string leaf with grabbing one. I grabbed 1 string from the middle. Remember, I had 5 on each side, and I just used 4. Now this will be the 5th. I'm adding it in. But unlike what we did with the red, I'll be using all 5 strings to make this leaf. I apologize if it seems like I'm going a little fast. It's not sped up. I can knot quite quickly when I'm in the zone. Okay. I'm just trying to move them out of the way so you guys can see, because it's black, so I know it. I regret making my first tutorial with black, but it is what it is. It was the project I had wanted to do while I got my equipment to start doing this. And I really like the combination of red and black. Okay, we're just doing the same thing that makes the leaf. We're at the top, crossing over the top 2 strings. I'll flip my board around, insert my T-pin to make the second half of the leaf. First 2, 1, 2, cross over the first 2 strings, make 2 more knots. Take the 3rd string to secure it. Grab the top string, start going down. 1, 2nd string. Now you should be at the 3rd string. And we grab the top string again, start at the top again. Second string, third string. So this should be the 4th string. And so 1 more row. Starting at, oh, was that it? That was 5. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm looking at a big screen while I'm recording this. All right, we're gonna do the leaves on the opposite side anyhow. So you'll have 5 strings. Use the first 4 to make a 4-string leaf. 1, 4. See? Now we take the third, leave the last one off, go up again, cross over. It's so quick because it's only 4 strings. I'm flipping my board around a little bit, making use of my T-pin. Cross over those 2 strings. So that was 1, 2, third from the top. 1, 2, 3. And the 4th chord will finish that tiny little 4-string leaf. And we will use that last string, the 5th string, there, and tie the 4 strings to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you have 5. Leave the last one off. Start with the 2nd from the bottom. Go up. The one we're grabbing is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, grab now the 3rd string, 3, 1, 2, 3. Take those 2 strings, cross them over, make a knot, and we're going to flip around. Use my T-pin, and here we're making the final leaf in this design, I promise. Cross the 2 over. String you're holding is 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be one more row. Yes. Okay. 1 is the one you're holding. 2, 3, 4, and the very last one, 5. So now you have a 4 and a 5 leaf on the left side, a 4 and a 5 leaf on the right side, and in the next video, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna tie them together and cut. I'm just showing you 5 strings there, tuck it away, so I can show you the design that you just made. We're almost to the end of this video. So now we have completed the snakes on the top and bottom, the leaves in the middle. We have added 2 beads to the top and the bottom, as well as tying in some loops, red loops, added the black snakes also to the top and the bottom. And I'm really hoping that if you followed along and my explanations were good enough, that this is what it looks like for you. Okay, so next up, videos. We're getting closer to the end. Top, bottom, how to turn the top into the pendant, and we will make some cuts, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.